Hi everybody, and we're working our way through the Free Spirits journey. We're on to the moon. So this is card number 18 in the Major Arcana. This is the traditional artwork, and I'll be holding this up again as I talk about it. And then this is the Doreen Virtue Angel Tarot version, really beautiful. So I am very partial to this card because it's related to my archetype of Pisces. I think it's really fitting if you're following along with this in real time as I post these. It's currently the very tail end of February 2016, and we're going into March, and we are in the Pisces energy. I am a Pisces, and the moon rules Pisces. This card, I mean, the tarot. And I love what the moon brings out, and I'm very partial to the moon cycles, and anybody out there who does have that sort of fascination with where the moon is at, and when it's a full moon and when it's a new moon and when we have a lunar eclipse. I think that's all very telling that the moon energy is clearly important. I do want to mention too that in March of 2016, as I'm recording this, we do have a lunar eclipse coming up on March 28th that's really going to close some chapters on some things. And so I think it's really timely that we're talking about this now, just as we're entering into March. So I want to give you a little bit of background about the moon card. This card's really about intuition, dreams, the unconscious. Just like the moon, it's a light that's not as vibrant as the sun. We haven't met the sun yet. That's coming up. It's not as vibrant as the sun, but it does shine. And it shines at a time of darkness. So it reveals things under the surface. If you really think about it in terms, and this card says it well. It's got the body of water represented here down at the bottom. The moon is very much about revealing what is under the surface. And I do like to think about this as a lake or a pond or an ocean. It's very much tied to the soul and emotional aspects of who we are. I think about this as the wild mind. And the dogs, the barking dogs, and this crayfish represent that the soul is kind of the wild side of us that loves a sense of freedom. That really is the bottom line. The soul really wants to just express and is very concerned with service to others and love of all of humanity and all of creation, really. So that is why I named my business Call of the Wild, actually. It really did not have to do with animals. It has to do with the home in the heart, which is the one wild heart, the one wild soul. That's where the big inspiration comes in our life, big ideas, things. These are moments when you tap into the moon energy. This is a time when if you listen to the one wild side and you go ahead and you take action, you see the towers here. And the towers represent a rite of passage. It's a new chapter. It's stepping into a new part of your life. It's deciding that you're going to be somebody different, and or that you're going to take on a new area of study or something very different. And we can go through many times in our life where that pops up. And what I'm willing to bet is that at the end of your life, those will be times that you remember. And I can already think of a few in my life when I took a major, or I made a major decision, I should say, that led me in a whole other direction. And thank God I did, because it led me to this spot that I'm at right now, and I'm doing this reading for you on this card. This is who I've always been meant to be. It's because I followed that soul direction. The thing with the moon card is fear. Fear can hold us back from making those decisions. So it's a tough one. because we really got to dig deep. Even though the dogs are barking and the crayfish is coming out and got the pinchers going at us, that soul's really itchy and wanting to get going. The fear can hold us back because we have our ways of thinking about life and security, and the where change can be difficult. We like things to be predictable, and that's part of human nature. But that's where the one wild soul, it's the biggest test that we have here is, can we listen to the soul and allow that one wild part of ourselves, the wildest part that wants freedom and love and harmony for all, to be in the driver's seat and to push us forward in those areas where we're being led, where we're being called to look into a new area of study, or switch jobs, do something different, or start a relationship with a certain person or end a relationship. All of those moves are part of the one wild soul. If they're really meaningful to you, you better betcha that soul work at play. So if we can allow the soul to be in the driver's seat and allow the ego mind to be in the passenger seat, I'm not one to say get rid of the mind and the ego. I'm not saying that at all. The mind and the ego are there to keep us safe, and that's part of the balance, is allowing that safety and security, but not being afraid to step forward and go through that gateway that's being presented, because it evolves us on our path. And so this week, I'd really like you to think about these two questions, journal on these two things. What new chapter or new project or new area of interest is coming forward from deep within you? What would make you feel wild and free? And this can be in any area of life, a big thing or a very small, seemingly small component of your life. The second question is, what fears might be holding me back from taking action in that new direction, or from starting that new project, or from looking into that type of training, or from reaching out to that person to set up a time to talk? What fears are presenting themselves, and really take a look at, is that fear founded? Is there foundation to that fear, or is it simply because it takes us out of our comfort zone? Because the soul, the one wild soul, is really wanting to come out with this moon energy this week. And I saw that in my weekly card reading that I did at this same time. So it's a big call to us. So enjoy the moon energy. This is my favorite. This is my favorite of the whole major arcana. It's a time to look deep within and to decide where we want to let that wild, free part of ourselves come out. Enjoy, and I will see you next week.